Hey guys, I'm very excited to share. I have a fun deck for you here with the Wayward City crew. I got Jesse.
There we go.
Yes,
Zoo time.
It is zoo time. So this is very specific zoo, right? This is back to the days. You remember when BT4 came out and we just got both of those new Chaos Mons?
Yes.
Valderarm and the Piercing one.
Yep.
And everybody, I mean, because Ragna Zoo was fun. Yes, absolutely. One of my favorite decks. And everyone was looking for that next like evolution of Zoo. And I think Chaos Zoo really did bring that with the fun green and yellow, because you have natural built-in recovery. You got good green, some stun in there. And I think that, guys, I have figured out the next step to this deck, and I'm very excited to share it with you.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but those two were the first green and yellow level 7 Digivolves in the entire game.
Yes, it just took, a level 7 coming out to where before they could play it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with a tried and true Mega Zoo combo. Staple, especially for the options that we play.
Yep.
Right? So just like back in the day, you would play Kaiser Nail to play out powerful green and yellow level 6s. That's still happening. So it's not much of a spoiler for those of you who have played that, but I'll get into the deck. So this Vmon, just very menacing, very aggressive, draws you cards with this Demi V, gives you the blue source when you need it. Absolutely love this.
Draws you at least 2 cards, right?
Draws me at
you're
least.
Digivolving and you're swinging.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So now this was a card that a lot of Chaos Zoo players would play, but I personally didn't do it. As a Zoo player from the very beginning, I just knew it was best if you kind of just focused on, like you would have your Magnadramons to heal to when you need it, like there at the end, right? But Magnadramon.
Yeah.
I did not play this in the original Chaos Zoo. I know there's no proof. I can't say my build was the best, right? But I would really just focus on hard dropping 10 cost level 6s and then working my way up into the Chaos Mons. So specifically the reason why I all of a sudden am like, I got to play Magnadramon is a brand new dual color 13k monster of a level 6.
10 cost.
Griffinmon. So not only is this Griffinmon here like just the perfect 10 drop, right? Because we started getting those in BT8.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we started getting these dual color
the
10 drops that were just
and,
screaming, play me in Mega Zoo. This Griffinmon is the one I have been waiting for to update this deck. This card also did really help when it came out of making the deck, and I definitely put this in right away to start testing and start playing with it. But I was kind of stuck, right? Because yes, he's a great 10 drop, but I'll just put it out in the field. This was the other 10 drop, right?
Titanmon?
So I would play 4 of the Titanmon,
okay,
4 of the Spinomon, and I would actually play 2 because I just really like 10 drop, in these zoo style decks where you really are just committing to dropping a 10 cost, right?
Yeah.
And I would actually play the starter deck Rosemon, which was horrible. It had low DP.
I remember that.
But it worked. It was a 10 drop that
Level
got the
6,
job done.
Yeah.
And this Griffinmon absolutely changed the way that this deck plays. And I'm just so excited. I've been feeling motivated since that Griffinmon came out to just really mess with this deck some more. So we're going to talk about an old BT2 card that I think was not only a staple in this type of Chaos Zoo deck, but was also a staple even back in Rookie Rush in the day.
It's one of your wife's favorite cards.
One of my wife's favorite cards, this powerful Puppetmon.
And people don't understand what that card does when it comes out, and it really blows people away.
Yeah, because, the Mega Gargamon might have been a little confusing where it's like, oh, you didn't suspend me with your effect, so do I get to unsuspend during the phase, right? This just straight up says, no, all of your bodies that are suspended do not unsuspend.
Speaking of that, okay, Mr. Lore Guy.
Yes.
Is there a Puppetmon X antibody?
There's not one so far, but Bandai has been doing a great job of giving us some X antibody stuff. Would love to see some powerful X antibody stuff because this deck could benefit from it.
Give me something super dumb.
Especially because it could take the spot of this Refrejimon.
Okay.
So I got to backtrack here for a sec because Puppetmon is really great for baiting out your opponent. I play an option here that's devastating to suspended bodies. So I really like baiting them, trying to Puppetmon, kind of doing a loop, getting them to go wide with a bunch of bodies, and then I play a really powerful option I'll get into at the end. But now I'll move on to Refrejimon.
Well, hold on. The Puppetmon also has that really cool when attacking gain memory.
Oh, yes. When attacking, gain 1 memory. Now, it sucks because he's only 10k, so he is more likely to die, but if you kill a body...
But everything's suspended, so you can swing at something typically, right?
Yes. So Puppetmon, huge fan in this deck. Got to be a 4 of. All of this stuff, in my opinion, I think you should play it as a 4 of, except this Titanmon. 2, you could take out the 2 if you want to take out 2 Titanmons. And because you do have these 10 drops, you could argue that. I like it, especially because when they swing into security, they're hitting a 13K, 13K, 12K, 11K, 10K, like just big bodies.
Basically, if they swing into your security with anything less than a level 6, they're probably going to die.
And now let me explain why Refrejimon's just been chilling here for a sec, because you do not obviously get a Digiburst 2, right? Like the Refrejimon is not a great card, in my opinion. I'm sorry to my Refrejimon fans. I've just... Like, it was fun when it came out, yes, but the reason why it's in here is because I play Kaiser now, like we talked about at the beginning. There's just so many times where I'm doing this loop, right? That's why I take advantage of these blue eggs. So let's say turn 1, I got a 10 drop out, right? And I'm not quite yet ready to go to 7 because I'm not getting the value I need out of it. I can go for 1 into a Refrejimon, Kaiser Nail for 4, only give my opponent, if they only gave me 1, only giving them 4. If they gave me 2, only give them 3, etc., etc. And I can play out another 10 drop 13K body. All of a sudden, I went from 1 big stack or 1 big body to 2 big bodies that are ready to go into level 7. So the Refrejimon, I am tempted to go to a 3 of. Yes, don't get me wrong, but I think it's just better as a 2 of. You know, if you guys try 3, maybe taking one of these Titanmons out for a 3rd. Let me know in the comments below.
So you're telling me you've never gone from a Magna to a Griffin to a Refleasel and then Digiburst 2?
You're absolutely right. I've never done that.
You can.
You can do that, yes, but that's not the highlight of the deck. All right, so another great reason to play Green Yellow Zoo is because a lot of times back in Zoo or back in any type of deck where you just wanted, I mean, remember BG2 days where people would just start teching in Lava Garitas, Magnadramons, just like volcanic, volcanic Dramons, not Lava Garitas. They would start teching in these bodies just to like hard play and, you know, have a great effect, whether it's suspending a board or healing 2.
Change the game state.
Changing that game state. So this is great because I really get to take advantage of the healing. And then I also can Kaiser Nail out a level 7 from underneath it.
And if we're making a call out to Bandai, I mean, can you think of another card that's gotten so much use that we don't have an alt art for?
Yeah, well, supposedly there's supposed to be those full arts of that.
Oh, that's right.
But I don't know if they're going to be textured or full or what. Are we going to
get it? Come on.
I would love to see it. So I absolutely think this should be a 4 of as well. It's very powerful just when you just keep healing and just healing and healing, and they're just like, you know, had to keep throwing bodies at your security and they keep dying to the high DP over here.
Yeah.
Right? And this still is high DP body, 10K.
Yeah.
But you know what's even higher than 10? Is 15.
Oh, Susano.
How many guys have seen decks with 4 Susanos in it?
Not even in hybrid.
Not even
full
hybrid
power. Yeah.
So what I love about this,
not even before MDF was restricted, did you see 4?
So this Susano is really like the perfect complement to a control style deck, because when you're talking about like a control style deck, you have this strategy, right? Where you're like, I'm going to slow my opponent down. I'm going to control them. I'm going to delete their bodies, get rid of their bodies until I have a big offensive play. And this Susano really defines that because it's 3 checks at 15K when he swings.
Yeah.
So not only does he have a great on-win Digivolving, being able to delete 1 body, no specifications, just delete a body, which is very powerful in this format. He's a 15K security bomb when you hit it, right? Because you obviously don't need all 4 in hand, but we've had games in our testing where I've had 3 on board because you just kept healing so much in that one deck.
No comment.
No comment there. And where it's like, this is just really, really helpful. And it's nice because Susano can Digivolve on any level 6.
Including white.
Even white.
You don't have white in there.
Even though I don't have a white level 6
It's a good
in
note.
Yes.
You know?
It's a good note. So what's nice is I can Kaiser Nail out a Magnadramon that's underneath a Susano and heal 2 and then still swing for 3 when I need to, right?
Yeah.
So there's tons of versatility with the Susano. So this deck, like I said at the beginning of the video, was started out as a pure 4 Chaosmon Valor Arms. Well, this transitioned. Once the Susano came out, I really had great success. Even won my locals using this with the 4 of Susano.
Yeah.
Back, you know, I think that was BT7, so I was like BT7-ish, or maybe BT8 when this came out. I started using this more. But I had tons and tons of success.
Definitely a deck that's evolved.
Yes, so unfortunately, there's not as much Chaosmon love in here anymore. But we have another great versatile level 7 that complements this deck perfectly.
Yep.
We're talking about the Omnimon Merciful mode. Now, I will say, This card can digivolve on all of these level 6s as well. It might have one downside, and that could be the fact that you're giving their trash back to their deck, where, especially when you're playing these kind of more control matchups, you sometimes do win by deck out. I don't think this is a deck that always wins by deck out, so I don't think it's important to take this out because you're worried about your opponent not decking it.
It's also very meta dependent, right? Like,
yes.
Right now, like that card itself is terrifying to certain decks.
It is, absolutely.
If you're talking about Beezlemon, yeah, exactly. D-Brigade, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what I love about this too is the when digivolving, it can delete more than one body, especially if I have a Refrejimon on top of something. It can delete 2 bodies, right? And what is also great about this card is that when it ends, it's your turn again after you've done this, right? Comes back to you. You trash security, which is really helpful in this deck because sometimes it's just not your best move to swing. You should Kaiser Nail out a body instead, right? So you don't want to risk that dying to an option or something. So the merciful mode will trash the security for them, exposing a level 6 for you to digivolve onto again and kind of loop. That same kind of strategy you're already doing with Kaiser Nail, that merciful mode supports. So, and it's a 15k body in security. We're talking 15Ks, like not much is going to live through the security for that. I do play 2 Chaos Valdemarms as the last level 7 in the deck.
Yeah, it's good multi-target
removal. It is a great multi-target removal. A 14k body, they kill it. They give you an additional 3 memory to kill it. Very useful. Unfortunately, the Piercing Chaosmon did not make the cut just because of the fact that I found the Susanoomon is so powerful, the Merciful mode so useful, and this is great for wider body deletion, right, where you need to kill 2 and can still kill one 14k body, right? So it's still a good card. But so Chaos Zoo has now, in my opinion, turned into this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's almost like a point of contention, and people will probably argue, but I almost feel like with all the removal and all the stuff in the game right now that piercing is, I don't want to say a dead mechanic, but it's a borderline dead mechanic.
Well, the best part about the Chaosmon was that it would, unsuspend and swing into somebody's active Digimon. Yeah. And that is obviously very useful, but sometimes only being 14k, that you can't kill Death X.
Yeah, you're gonna hit Death X, or if you hit a Death X,
you're gonna hit. Yeah, exactly. So I was okay with kind of moving on from that. I'll still keep my original Chaos Zoo deck built just for nostalgia purposes, right? But for now,
think about how scary like security is now. Like you can pierce and then hit like an Onestaco, and it's gonna, like, if you have 3 security, there goes a 12k, and it's gonna take something else out.
Let's get on to the next card of the deck. This is my draw engine, believe it or not.
So if we're just going to be totally transparent here, this is the reason why you play green. Because I know up to this point, everyone's like, why isn't he playing red? The removal options are so much better. Why isn't he playing, black? Because the removal options with D-Digivolve and Iron Fisted Onslaught. This card is terrifying. This card is what makes this deck good, because the biggest problem that Zoo decks have is draw, right? Because you're not Digivolve.
Getting cards into hand to use.
Exactly. And so if you don't know what this card does,
this
Jeff
is BT1 Izzy.
Okay,
okay, guys. I have to say, I haven't seen a lot of people use this. So, at least in our local group, I'm the one who discovered this. So, got to give myself props, I guess, because I'm a little conceited, right?
Because I've already copied it. If you watch the Green Merciful Zoo deck that I made, I copied this.
Yes. So what's great about this card, and like this is kind of what blew my mind, right? Is we talk about this all the time. We like to go through old cards, just read what old cards do to figure out how to make, just anything fun, right? Yeah. This Izzy, right? You do have to have a green level 5 or higher, right? So I do have green level 5 or higher on board, and you do hard play the 10 drop, or you do play Kaiser Nail to bring out a green level 5. But it says you can suspend this Tamer to reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's a Digimon card, doesn't specify color, does not matter color, you add it to hand. So this is what I played in Chaos Zoo, because it just helped me filter my hands so much. Because guess what? You have a green level 6 on board.
All the time.
You trigger that, you can grab a Magnadramon to hand. You trigger that, you can add Susanoomon to hand. You can add Magnadramon, Vmon to hand. So you can just really start getting that pressure of those level 3s when you need it. And there's just times where, like, sometimes you only want to give your opponent 1. If they gave you 1, and you can memory choke really efficiently with the Izzy. I mean, this Izzy is just so good. Like, you wouldn't think it would be so good.
You can suspend it the turn you play it.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So there'll just be times where, turn 1, I drop a 10 drop. Turn 2, they maybe give me 2. If they didn't delete it, I just play an Izzy, suspend it, draw a card.
Yeah.
So it's additional draw that this deck desperately needs to help with it. And it also does help with the consistency to play the removal spells that I play.
There it goes. So this is what pairs well with your blue eggs.
Yes, exactly. So this was a point where when I started the whole green, yellow Mega Zoo, I stuck with like blue options. You had Kikaitis Breath. And then, sometimes adding in green options. Like I even played Weiselin because it just stopped 2 bodies from attacking, which can be really helpful against
a delay, but
Zoo.
It's
like a delay.
It's not an answer. Yeah.
Or Terror Cluster wasn't that great because it already had to be suspended. Now we have the Grandel Soul, which is a great card. You can still fit in, but I still think you have the blue eggs, so you're better off doing
and the
blue.
green Tamers and the green Digimon. Yeah.
But Megadeth, absolutely devastating of a card, and to complement that well. And that option card I was talking about with the Puppetmon kind of loop I do, Gigadeath.
Yeah.
This can send 10 double-digit suspended bodies to the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Or it sends 1 when hidden security. So you can send Death X to the bottom of the deck, right? What I love about this Gigadeath is, like I said, I kind of bait them with the Puppetmons, kind of get them to start going wide, have some bodies suspended, and I just send them all to the bottom of the deck with Gigadeath.
On the next turn.
Yeah, yep. Unfortunately, security only does 1, but still very good. This split is very, very tough for me because you could argue to go to a 2-4 split of the Megadeth, Gigadeath.
I think you're good there with the 4 Puppetmons and stuff.
Yeah, that's
I like that.
Kind of my thought process. Yeah. And Izzy does send options to the bottom of the deck, so you do have to be careful of that, but you kind of want these more in security anyways, especially with the recovery we have with Magnadramon, Magnadramon. I play one more option, guys. I've already showed it off. Might as well put it down on the table. Kaiser Nail. Really helps the deck, and I'm torn to go to 4, but I think if you've been playing Kaiser Nail for a while, you guys know that it can just clog your hand and brick. Yeah. Or when it's the first card that gets hit in security and you just don't have anything, it always feels bad. So I think 3 is better. Yeah, 3 feels really good in this. You can bring out bodies from underneath Refrejimon. You bring out bodies underneath your level 7s. It triggers security. All of a sudden, you've got 2 big bodies they have to deal with instead of just 1. Absolutely devastating card. This is it, guys. This is the updated green-yellow Mega Zoo that Chaos Zoo was so derived from. This is the newest version, guys. Please check it out. Try it. Let us know what you think in the comments.
All right.